What's going on, everybody? This is Reaper and I am back with another video. Alright, well, I've been wanting to do this type of video for about a week now, and I couldn't do it on the first week of the open beta, so it was kinda too bad. But thank God with week 2 I can finally record on my Xbox, so I can finally actually get some footage for you guys. So I know you guys have been wanting this, and I apologize for the delay, but you know, I actually got up at around 3:30 this morning, and I hopped in my first match, and then I was good to go for the rest of the day today. So I was like, okay, I can get some really quick footage. I can do a video, and I can give you my thoughts on this open beta. Now, I actually got the enclosed beta, so I actually started on the 7th, and then I got to level 20 by Saturday actual evening. So the fact that I capped out on day 1 of the open beta kind of proved how fast this has become. So I did that actual accomplishment in just 3 days of gameplay. Not that bad, but you know, and they did say that all your challenges and your achievements will carry over to the final build. So I was like, yo, I can start off at level 20, and I already pre-ordered the Phantom Edition. So there you go. But yeah, no, this was actually kind of interesting. But the thing is that, you know, I've been always really skeptical about Battlefield games, guys. I've been always more of a Call of Duty, you know, enthusiast than I have been a Battlefield. Now, I have played all the Battlefields in history, so I actually you know, have experience on both sides. It's just I prefer Call of Duty. But you know, with this game is actually a lot more funner than Call of Duty, and the fact that it reached 500,000 peak players on week 1 on just Steam kind of proves that this game is kind of gonna be the Call of Duty killer of the actual generation. So I think this is gonna be kind of fun. But you know, and that's just Steam numbers, people. Imagine what's gonna happen when they actually clock in the console numbers. Then I bet that number goes even higher. So yeah. And then the other fun factor of how this thing works is actually, I think it's kind of interesting. But I actually capped out on Xbox, and then when I checked my PS5 version, it was already capped out. So it carried over to my PS5, and I'm like, WTF? How the hell does that even work? Like, is that the new generation? Is that the new evolution of crossplay and play anywhere? Or is that just an EA, you know, an EA stat, you know? But the thing that I think is kind of funny is the fact that, you know, I only had to cap out on one system to make it go on both, which was kind of weird. But I was like, oh my god. But since I already, you know, capped out on PlayStation, I found no purpose whatsoever in even playing it on that. So I went right back to Xbox, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna stay on Xbox and record this and have a fun weekend. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. But you know, a lot of people are saying that, you know, Call of Duty is dead, Call of Duty is failing. You know, it's just like all that kind of fun jazz. But with this type of build, the fact that you actually require to think and actually have quick reflexes and quick reaction is a lot better than Call of Duty, I gotta say, because this game is a blast to play. And I couldn't get enough of it in week 1, and then, you know, I had to wait 3 days to actually play week 2, which was not fair. But, you know, it's just like, you know, and then, you know, after week 2, you know, you gotta wait at least, you know, 50 days before you can actually play it again. So I think that's kind of stupid, because it comes out October 10th. But like I said, I already did pre-order the Phantom Edition, so I got the $100 version of this game. So I cannot wait to actually, you know, go full force in this game this fall. So that's gonna be mad fun. But I think the main differences in these two games are the fact of how they're played. And, you know, in Call of Duty, you know, the biggest priority is being your KD and your KD ratio. And in this game, the main priority is playing as a squad, playing as a team, making sure you're always giving them backfire, make sure you're always basically backing them up, hopping vehicles with them, get kill streaks. But, you know, the main focus of this game is the objective, not the KD. So it doesn't really matter if you don't get enough kills in the game. It just matters if you win. So, like, and I got a comment on my TikTok, and then people were asking me, "Oh, did you win?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I win more than I lose, actually." And then in this match, I did actually win. So, this game was my first game of Rush, and I've never actually haven't tried Rush on this game yet. So this game, the fact that I hopped in a tank and I was in a tank for quite a while before I died. So I was like, yeah, this game is actually quite fun in comparison to Call of Duty. But I don't. I think that Battlefield is setting the new standard for what the FPS genre should be, and I think that with destructive environments and actual gameplay, I think they actually do. They do their actual promise to actually fulfill the player's desire. So I think that's actually kind of good. And there's not a lot of bad things I can say about this game. I will say that to get the enclosed beta, I had to watch a 60-minute hour Twitch stream of somebody to get the early access. But once I got it, it was mad privilege, because I was like, yeah, I get to play it 2 days early, and then everybody else has to wait till Saturday. It's just like, it was just mad funny. But it's just like, and I reached level 20 by Saturday, so I was like, yeah, no need to play it on Sunday. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. But it's just like, it was just mad funny. But it's just like, and this weekend too, I'm already capped, so I'm going in with levels that are level 5s or level 6s or level 10s and stuff like that, and even level 1s. So that's gonna be mad fun. But it's just like, not everybody was able to cap in the first week, and I get that. But it's just like, you gotta have priority, people. You gotta have priority of the game that you want to actually get good at and stuff. But I love this game. I give this a full 10 out of 10 actually, just from the beta. And just from the beta, actually made me pre-order it. So I was like, yeah, no, I knew that this game was going to be more worth it than Black Ops 7 this year. So I thought this game is going to be my priority starting in October. So that's going to be kind of fun. But overall, this game is beautiful. But to be honest, it's not that hard to play. You just gotta have really quick reaction time. You gotta have really quick reaction time, because if they see you before you see them, you die. So that's kind of how that works. So you gotta spot the enemy first, kill them first, and then not get hit. But a lot of people are still struggling with playing as a team and not so much going lone wolf, and that's kind of hard for people to do, because people just want to get kills. So I get that, but that's not the main flourish of this game. The flourish of this game is the hit system. It legitly takes less than 4 bullets to kill people. It's mad freaking easy, and you kill them mad quick too. So it's like, you gotta have actual real quick reaction time. It's a lot faster than COD, and that's what I think makes it better. Is that it has a lot quicker kill to death, and it's actually a lot better. But overall, I think this game actually is beautiful. I think this game is great to play. I encourage everybody to drop on the open beta this weekend. It's free. So, it's just like, and it starts today. So, it's just like, enjoy week 2. Now, the Empire State, map, I did not really like. I thought that was too encased and too claustrophobic. But I don't mind playing on these big maps either. So it's like, it don't really matter. And now you have a custom search engine in week 2, so you can basically choose which modes you want to play, and then which maps you want to choose and stuff like that. So I think that's cool. But overall, that's my thoughts on this beta. But I hope everybody did enjoy it. I gotta say that it is actually quite entertaining. But I hope everybody enjoyed my view, and give me a like, give me a sub, give me a comment, tell me what you think of your own personal experience, and I will catch you guys later.